to the
There's always two, a master and apprentice. This is the story of Elisha and Elijah, the prophets.
All day, the news was buzzing all over the land. All of the sons of the prophets had knew of his plan. My master, Elijah, would be taking his day. How could I live without his wisdom and the words he would say? I gazed deep into his eyes like a child that I was. Behold the aura of his presence, the virtue of his essence. To God be the blessings. I followed like sheep. Today's the day that the apprentice transcends to the seat of master. Be a pastor, a shepherd of sheep. We on this long dusty road, never saying a peep until we reach the river Jordan. My master, Elijah, removed his overcoat and smoked the waters right for silence. The water started bubbling to solid from fluid. They poured it down the middle. He and I poured it through it. It wasn't new. It's nothing I had seen it before. Besides raising up the dead, healing, beating the poor. We crossed over to the other side and he said to me,
Whatever you ask for, let your eye give it to me.
I thought deeply for a moment, maybe wisdom, strength, or honor. Nah, just leave a double portion your spirit here for a prophet full of rage to bring your fire and horror to the wicked that despise the Father in all his honor. He
All
replied,
I see you as the whole thing, but nevertheless you see you lead, then it's your thing. My life is still coming, stuck on earth, mass, a universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, mass, a universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, mass, a universe that chills humbling. I got the feel, tough of skills you can't steal from me, and from the cradle to the grave I keep it real, homie.
reminisced about the old days, times in the past, the master and his old apprentice. We had a good laugh, but then the sky drew back like a scroll fire unfolds. My heart stops and I drop as my flesh turns cold. It was the horse and carriages, chariots, various characters fought at these in serious times, errors and areas. My mind froze like it was exposed to the cold. I got short of breath watching as the chariots float. I seen a bright light like a whirlwind from the depths of the ship. Just then in line and started shaking like epileptics with fit. His robe and his staff fell to the ground. He was ascending in the heaven transparently now. A vague silhouette of a man I had loved so much was being hoisted into heaven. What adrenaline rush. And just as quick as they appeared, they was gone. The electricity was still in the air, along with the smell of brimstone. The sand from under his feet he just on. I love him just like Kimbo. Set up his robe and stabbed this man. No time for me to get go. I didn't smoke the waters and they poured it to reveal the ground. I walked across the Jordan River. The prophets came hither and one said the spirit of his master is upon him upon the ground. The walking trail of rosebuds was forming. The apprentice transformed. Now a prophet he's called, whose name will live on forever in biblical scrolls. Indeed, time to tell a story, many follow my lead, and God's name was glorified. But my works and my deeds until the early dates are churlish fates. I'ma bring it to a world I hate. The burden's weighs heavy on my shoulders, but I'ma carry it now until the brimstone and fire and furious cloud. I'm understand worse than hellhounds, devious ride, but I'm a prophet of the highest when I cry so loud. Follow me!
It's still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I get the feel, tough of skills you can't steal from me, and from the cradle to the grave I keep it real, homie. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I'm black and still coming, stuck on earth, massive universe that chills humbling. I got the feel, tough of skills you can't steal from me, and from the cradle to the grave I keep it real, homie.
Now it's time to make a meal. What we're saying now is this. Period. It was necessary, but it wasn't sufficient. We got to drop more. We got to do more. That's only print. And black people, unfortunately, do not read.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, 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 shalom. As my man Carlos brilliantly dropped in the chat. Feliz Dia Sabático Casa de Israel. Happy Sabbath day, House of Israel. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Shabbat shalom, Brother Carlos, and to the rest of the family in the house. Brother Ron is in the house, Ashar, the house of Byron, Karatazah, with brothers up in the Northwest, Kohav, and everybody else is joining in, riding with me tonight. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh. Welcome to another transmission to Disrupt the System. It's your brother IQAhmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. Hopefully, all of y'all are well that's in the chat that's tuning in. I can see Facebook is up to some more. I'm not Facebook, Shalakia. YouTube up to some more folly. Shadow banning the channel. It's saying that only 4 people are watching. And I just ran off like 10 names. Very funny, YouTube. Very funny as they continually block and stifle the viewership here at the MLTC and the DSTM family here. So, with that being understood, brothers and sisters, you know what to do. Come on in, wipe your feet, kick the algorithm in the $, let it be known that you are here, you are active, you're in the chat, you're involved in what's going on over here. Share the video, do what's necessary because it looks like they've just completely frozen the live viewership. That's funny. I'm looking at right now. My analytics and data say that there's more than what they're viewing this to. It said 4 people. Oh my goodness, man! YouTube is a trip. YouTube is a trip. Man. I guess they don't want to. They don't want me speaking about what the topic of the class this evening is going to be about, man. We're talking about Putin sending warships to the Caribbean, in particular Cuba, as Carlos put on there, Cuban Missile Crisis Part 2, absolutely, absolutely. And they're talking about possibly involving Venezuela, which is going to be very interesting as well. So what does that mean, in regards to the WW to the third power and the prophecy in contingency with the deliverance of our people? We can only give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High for him being true to his word, knowing and understanding that the sealing of the elect is getting more closer as we approach, Jacob's trouble and all the rest of the tribulations, but the deliverance and the righteous protection and shielding of the faithful elect during these times as well. So very, very exciting and interesting times that we're in, man. We also got, man, the Transformers, the transmissions, man, they're going wild out here in the streets, rioting, fighting pro-Palestinian protesters, man. Both of them jockeying for position to see who can be the biggest distraction. Should everybody be worried about the Transformers and their so-called month, or the pro-Palestinians? They trying to get their attention spans, or everyone's attention spans focusing in on them. The George Soros army, really he's behind both of them, man. That's how Esau does, man. He funds both sides of the war at all times, man, to create maximum distraction so he can, present the solutions. The Hegelian dialectic, we've talked about it on a number of occasions, but it is what it is, man. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it, man. Hopefully everybody's solid. Hit that like button, dislike button. Doesn't matter to me, just as long as the algorithm knows that, there's some activity jumping on over here. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get to it. Very interesting. Yeah, Aladad, you dang right. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Shame on anybody who wasn't able to tune in live, man. I know a lot of y'all, I ain't going to say a lot, man. There's usually a good contingency, man, that stays up when I do a Friday Night Lights. But, there's others that are going to hit it, follow up tomorrow, which is all good. You're watching this on the Sabbath day, the daytime of the Sabbath. Shabbat shalom to you. It's all good. It's all good. Now, I know the family's there, man. And y'all 3 hours ahead. That's why I salute y'all all day. because you guys is up right now. It's 11:20, and the faithful house of Byron, man, is always riding. So all praises, man, all praises. Clearly notifications is going out slowly but surely, but at the same time, we know that YouTube is definitely definitely shadow banning right now. It is too funny. Like, when you see it active right in front of your face, it's wild. It is wild. Shalom to the elderly in the house. Shalom, Rasha. All right, let's get to it, man. Shalaki. So many of y'all know what time it is, but for those who don't, those who have been following, too caught up this week, may have had a lot going on, whatever the case may be. Big things is moving. Big things, as they say in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Russian warships, including a nuclear sub missile frigate, will arrive in Cuba next week. This goes on the cusp of, and we talked about it last week. And in particular, I know Karatazar had added in that, U.S. made weapons were being fired on the interiors of Russia, breaking all agreements in regards to the actions of war between Russia and Ukraine. America gave the green light, said, hey, you know what? Go ahead and start bombing the interiors of Russia. We got your back. You got the other nations, the minuscule nations like, France and Great Britain. They're out there cheerleading along saying, well, let's get it on. Let's get to World War III. You got Sweden that just jumped on board. They're saying, let's do it. So in response, this is the only thing we can kind of deduce is Putin says, oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and do some tactical maneuvers under the guise of we're just performing military exercises over there. Oh, that's all. They're no big deal. It's just an exercise, right? 3 Russian Navy ships and a nuclear-powered submarine. Why are we going to take a nuke submarine on a exercise run? 3 Russian Navy ships and a nuclear-powered submarine will arrive at the port of Havana for an official visit next week. Ironic the timing to pay a visit, right? The Cuban Armed Forces said in a statement Thursday confirming the military exercise was first disclosed by U.S. officials on Wednesday. The Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces said the Russian missile frigate Admiral Gorshkov, the nuclear sub Kazan, the oil tanker Pashin, and the salvage tug Nikolai Chicker will arrive on June 12th and stay for a week. The Cuban military said the visit by the Russian Navy ships is part of the, quote, friendly relations between the two countries, complies with international law, and does not pose a security threat to the region because, quote, none of the ships carry nuclear weapons. Well, isn't that nice? Right? But although there's a nuclear-capable sub that's going over there, in the midst of Russia being bombed and having an all-out, attack on them. And why is Cuba so important, man? If anybody was privy to the lesson that I did regarding the fatness of the earth and how America is this place, right? America is the fatness of the earth. This is where, you know what? Hold on. I want to show something because I had a slide on there, and there's one place that poses the biggest threat because America has been set up to be an island that is hard to be penetrated because on the east they've got open sea. There can't be a surprise attack on them. People can't just wash up, come up onto the shores and have an issue with America, whether it's east, west, to the north. We've got Canada. Nobody's coming through Canada. They're under the lock and key of America. Nobody's coming through Mexico. They're under lock and key of America. So America's been impregnable as far as invasions are concerned because of how it sits on the earth, right? This is the place that, and you know what? Matter of fact, I just seen, hold on. While it's in my spirit, while it popped in my head. there was a see, look at this. Now I don't know if with the particular, well, you know, if you check the, oh shoot, what's going on here? If you check the lesson out, you know, even from the sands that protect the erosion of the island and all that, because America's pretty much an island, right? But anyway, just I saw this headline. I hadn't looked at it, but it says the oceans can't protect us anymore. The strategic positioning of where America is at is what keeps it from being invaded, right? But when we're looking at the one place, and this is why it was such an issue with the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Bay of Pigs and you know the Cold War between Russia and America, is because Russia was able to make friends with the one island who does not get along with America to the point to where they will and allowed Russia to come set up shop and post up right in here where it can easily penetrate, hit, bomb Florida, the southern portions of America down to you know Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, so forth and so on. This is the strategic point that is America's weakness. Russia knows it. China knows it. This is why it's such a threat. This is why they're still driving around with cars from 1952 and 51 over there because of the sanctions. This is why they're over there in starvation right now. Their economy is completely imploded. Cuba's in bad shape. So, you know, they need friends. And of course, good old Russia is always going to be there to help them. So, yes, the door is going to be open because this is going to be a key strategic point for them to set up shop. Because when it comes down for immediate attacks, they don't have to worry about anybody coming from, you know, let me close this one out. Let me close this one out. Let me find another map of America. They ain't gonna have to worry about anybody coming from to the east, to the west, so forth and so on, right? Let's just look at this one real quick. Where it sits on here, anybody's coming from the east, oh, they're gonna get caught up. All the defenses is lined up all around here. You're coming from the east. I mean, this is the far east for us, you know, but it's to our west. This is where, you know, Russia, China, they're all on this side. They can't come over here in any surprises. Too much ocean, too much alert, too much things is going to notify America of an invasion. Nobody's coming from up here because there's nothing up here but Canada. That's a friendly. Nobody's coming from Mexico. That's a friendly, right? The one problem that they got is right up in here. And now they're allowing, or they can't allow, you know, their enemies has made moves and they came up in there, right? So this is why we see the problems that America's facing with this invasion. Russia's planning it right on time. They know who they can rely on. And now they've opened up the doors for Cuba to come on in, right? So Cuban military, Russian military, lines are being drawn. We see who's friend, who's foe, what side of the fence that Cuba's standing on. They've always been loyal to Russia. They're going to stay loyal to Russia. And they've opened up the doors for them to come in and perform some quote unquote exercises. And it's all friendly. But are these really times for friendliness? No, we can see that that's not the case, right? Ecclesiastes tells us it's the time for everything. It's not the time to be friends and embracing. So this is all political, you know, this is all military posturing. This is all war games and war drums being beaten to the public and to the press. They're saying, oh, this is all friendly, but we know what time it is. We know what time it is. Look at this. Putin, nuclear response guaranteed if threatened. The U.S. presidency is irrelevant. So they're letting it be known. They're saying that if their only response is going to be nuclear. They've already been in, you know, they're already getting hit up in the interiors of Russia with the Ukraine war. Everything that they've tried to stop as far as peace treaties are concerned got shot down by NATO. America is pushing for, and they're utilizing proxies. They're going to utilize, you know, Ukraine. They're going to utilize different smaller nations in NATO to go forward with the World War III scenario because especially with this election going on, they need that Black Swan event. They're going to need a big time, distraction, something that's going to have to get in the way of this election, because Lord knows, slow Biden is not ready to take the helm for another 4 years. They're scared as hell of Trump. If Trump gets in there, uh, World War III is cracking, right? So they're trying to figure out how they're going to posture this thing to carry on their reign of hell and terror on the earth. But they're going to need some sort of interruption, whether it's the war, through plague. Of course, we've been talking about it. They're trying to bubble up the disease X and try to get another lockdown going. Could it be economic? We don't know. But he's got a lot of cards on the table. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Putin has already let it be known that a nuclear response is guaranteed. Hold on. Now, if we just deal on scriptural, scriptural standpoints, right? He said he's going to have to stand on it. We pray that the Most High, has him stand on his word. Matthew 12:37 says, "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." So, hold on. Let me jump back. Let me read 36, right? It says, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." So watch what you say, right? This is how the Most High is going to hold him in contempt. Because if he's saying these words, hey, it's guaranteed I'm going nuclear, if they keep it up. And NATO, America is showing no signs of slowing down. Nobody is responding to these threats that he's making. So he's going to have to make good on it. He's going to have to make good on it. And that's what the world is waiting for. That's what we're all sitting back saying, okay, well, you know what? If we're following along with prophecy, this is going right according to plan. Looks like he might have to do what he says. Proverbs 13:3 says, "He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction." So when he's saying words like this, mouth wide open, Russian President Vladimir Putin, when asked about the risks of nuclear war due to Ukraine, warned that Russia could use all available means to defend itself if its sovereignty or territorial integrity were threatened. Now, unless he's playing games or unless he's still just trying to be patient, their territorial integrity has already been threatened. And I got articles to show after this. Sovereignty has already been threatened. NATO was on record saying they cannot win. We cannot allow him to win. Slow Biden just sat down with what's the guy's name? Zelensky. I think it was yesterday. Groveling with an apology, talking about, I'm very sorry for the response with the weapons, but we got it all figured out. I've got another, what do you say? Another $26 million coming your way. He also said, I've got another four or six package spending bill on the way. I mean, it was ridiculous. So nobody's backing down. The sovereignty of Russia has already been compromised. The territorial integrity has been compromised. So he says that he's going to have to stand on it. Thus saith the Lord. And if the Most High is controlling, remember, Ezekiel 38 said that he's going to put hooks in the jaws and drag him into war. That only lines up with the fact that, okay, boom, he's going to have to make good on it. Hold on. See, now we're dealing with our Father, his power. What's he doing? How is he controlling the things behind the scenes? How is he going to be the master chess player? Daniel 2:21 says, "And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings." Yeah, let me make sure we know who we're talking about. Verse 20. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of the Most High forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his." Whose? Yahweh's. And who's he? Yahweh. He changes the times and the seasons. Now, the so-called white man says he thinks to change times and laws. But when we delve ourselves into the word of the Lord and we figure out about the calendar, we learn about our holy days, we learn about the seasons that the scriptures speak about, we break free from that matrix. That's why we don't celebrate January 1st as the new year and things of that nature, right? That's how we know when to celebrate and observe our Passover in Abib, the springtime. It's because we know that he thinks to change times. That's what Daniel 7:25 says, and he thinks to change times and laws. But the Most High is the one who already had all creation in operation. The sun, moon, stars, Genesis 1:14, in order for us to regulate days, months, years, that's already been in motion. White man comes in and tries to throw confusion. So he changes times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So this kingdom has to be removed. The kingdom of our Savior, Mashiach Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, it's time for his kingdom to reign, the everlasting kingdom, right? After the loins and the seed of David and the promise and the covenant that was made to David. So new kings is going to have to be set up. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding, right? So that's what we're dealing with here. So when we're hearing these type of words, man, hey, we ain't heard it like this before. And we haven't been in the position that we're in. This is different from, the first Cold War in the 50s and all that. No, they were still selling bunkers and doing everything back then, but no. Not to the point right now where NATO was completely involved. There's an active war going on with Russia and Ukraine. So back then they were just coming off of World War II. America and Russia were struggling to be the next superpower. So they was butting heads over power and all of that. Right? But now you got the Arab nations involved. You got Moab involved with North Korea and South Korea and America. You've got Taiwan and China involved. You got the Israelis against the Palestinians. I mean, all hell is breaking loose, and you've got a number of different coups going on in Africa. America and Russia are over there right now, butting heads after they kicked the French out over there in Niger. Now you got America and they're trying to kick America up out of there because they want the Russians over there. You got Kenyan troops over in Haiti trying to regulate the gang warfare and the coup and the takeover that's going on over there. I mean, listen, it's all going down. Sirach 10 and verse 13, it says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord shall brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. See, the Most High said the meek is going to inherit the earth. The proud princes, man, all these nations, all the heathen nations, man, that's out here running amok under the banner of the great whore, America. All the kings that's living deliciously with her, and the imports and the exports and the goods and the services and everything, the money and the wealth they're draining out from this place, all of them is going to be overthrown. Continuing on, verse 15, it says, the Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. See, the first shall be last, the last shall be first. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. This is why we're seeing what's going on right now. Verse 17. He took some of them away and destroyed them and have made their memorial to cease from the earth. Oh, it says some of them and destroyed them. So amongst these heathen countries, some is going to be spared. Some is going to be allowed to come into the glory of the Most High's kingdom as servants and slaves and handmaids and laborers. Right? But there's going to be some their memorial is going to cease from the earth. And we all know who that is. Just read the book of Obadiah. This is why this pot is getting stirred by the Most High. Right? So he's guaranteeing his response is going to be nuclear. Russian President Vladimir Putin, when asked about the risk of nuclear war due to Ukraine, warned that Russia could use all available means to defend itself in if its sovereignty and territorial integrity were threatened. Putin says the West repeatedly accuses Russia of nuclear saber rattling, but this is wrong because it was the USA that used nuclear weapons against Japan in World War II, which is a cold cut to America because he's right. America is sitting back saying Russia is out of control. They're threatening everyone with nukes. This is dangerous. We can't allow them to be having this type of power. And meanwhile, Putin is like, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, you've got the same power, and you're the only one in the world who's used it. I've got it because I'm scared of you. And then America sits back and says, you're not supposed to remember that. You're not supposed to remember little fat boy, and what was the other one? We all know about the atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb over there with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What was it? Little fat boy, and y'all remember? Help my memory out. What do they call them bombs? See, I always gotta look them up. Let me get on back over here. What do they call them? Why they ain't give me the name off the rip? Oh, Fat Man. Fat Man, what do they call it? Fat Man, and they had another one. Little Boy and Fat Man. I call it Little Fat Man. I combined the two. Little Boy and Fat Man were the two bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, Little Rocket Man, that's what Trump called a boy from North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un, Trump called him Little Rocket Man. But no, they was called little boy and Fat Man. All right. So, Putin reminded him, he said, hold on, we're not the ones who used these bombs. That's y'all. What are you talking about? Look at this, okay? Putin ally threatens to use entire arsenal of nuclear weapons if needed. So one of his allies, this is a female. She's jumping out the window, basically saying if they use the whole entire arsenal, man, she's basically saying we'll just blow up the world. We'll just destroy everything. Because technically, you only need about 2 or 3 nukes, and the majority of the world is pretty much a wasteland, right? Get a couple of nukes in Europe, Eastern and Western Europe. Get a couple in America. Forget about it. Africa, done. Middle East, done. Top Russian official, Valentina Matvienko, who is an ally to Russian President Vladimir Putin, threatened that Moscow will use its entire arsenal of nuclear weapons if provoked. Now, she don't have the authority to, give the okay on that. But because she's an official, because she's speaking on behalf of, what she feels is necessary. And this is why you can't have women in positions like this, because she's ready to go, what they call it, DEFCON 4. She ready to blow up everything. You seen what happened when Hillary Clinton had a little taste of power and she got rid of Gaddafi. She ran over there with the quickness and said he came, he saw, he died, and she laughed. We see what she talks about with super predators and so-called Negroes need to be brought to heel. A little power in her hands and in these women's hands, man, they go crazy. So clearly we see she's talking about utilizing the whole entire nuclear arsenal. Matvienko, who has served as a senior from St. Petersburg and the chairwoman of the Federation Council since 2011, warned that while nuclear war is not imminent, it is a possibility. Personally, I don't feel like we are on the verge of nuclear war, but the trends are not good. So she's saying it's trending in the direction that's not good. Well, the Most High told us that we got to watch trends, didn't he? 2nd Ezra 9. And 1, he said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. So when we're talking about measuring the time diligently in itself, then that means that we're measuring, we're watching. That means we got to understand in today's terms, those are watching how things are trending. You've got economists that are watching the stock market trending, the cryptocurrencies, what's trending, the metals, what's trending, what isn't trending. They're dealing with trends when it comes down to people, measuring their gambling when they go to Vegas into Atlantic City. You know, everything is based around trends. Stock markets, housing markets, commercial real estate, you name it. Everybody's measuring graphs and charts to see what's peaking, what's declining, what isn't, what isn't. This is all the Most High told us. We got to look at it as activities is being played out here on the earth and what's happening prophetically. And we're listening to the leaders of the world say these particular things. She's saying that right now she doesn't feel as though this is what's going on, but things are trending in the wrong direction. So the Lord said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand. So once we start understanding these trends, we start seeing and measuring the time, and we're understanding and seeing what was said before by the prophets of old and by Christ, then we're going to understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, and the Lord is visiting the earth in a number of different ways. She says, personally, I don't feel like we're on the verge of nuclear war, but the trends are not good. Matvienko said on the sidelines of the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. Russian state media agency TASS reported on Friday. The Russian official said that as long as Russia's existence is not threatened, Moscow will never use nuclear weapons. Well, clearly their existence is being threatened. I mean, I don't know why they're acting like that's not really going on. Yeah, we're kind of weathering the storm. Yeah, hopefully things kind of calm down. Maybe, somebody's going to back. They're being super patient and nice with what's going on. But eventually, something's going to got to give. It says, however, this would not be the case in the event of an existential threat to the country. If there is a real threat to the existence of our state or serious threat to our security and sovereignty, then, of course, we'll use the entire arsenal. She didn't say some, a little bit. We'll selectively, they talk about using selective tactical nukes. No. There's no such thing. You can't use a nuke tactically, like without causing mass destruction. The fallout from the nuclear, radioactive particles and all that, just alone on the grounds and in the air, is like hundreds of years before you can ever get rid of it. So forget about food. Certain areas be completely quarantined and restricted. Just look at Chernobyl when they had that breakdown in the Chernobyl power plant back in the 80s. That's still uninhabitable. They said they got like mutated dogs over there just running around. So imagine. They're talking about tactical. No. There's no nice way you can play it or put it. It says they of course will use up the entire arsenal and all the capabilities we have, she added. Moving on, it says U.S. test launches hypersonic nuclear missile capable of reaching Moscow in just 30 minutes amid rising threats of World War III. So what are we talking about? They just got through saying if they're being threatened, if they're seeing their sovereignty, the territorial lands are being put at stake. Now you got America not only launching bombs within, giving a green light to launch bombs within Russia, which before they said that wasn't going to happen, which before Slow Biden said, if we start sending planes and F-16s and tanks and military armaments, that's called World War III. Remember that? And everything that he said that he wasn't going to do, they're doing now. Is it because he's just, doing that? Or is it the Lord that's doing these things? It's the Most High. The Most High is like, listen, man, my children is ready, or they're getting ready. I ain't going to say we ready. But he's sealing the elect. Our people are waking up rapidly. It's becoming a major threat to America and to our enemies, that we're waking up in droves, that we're repenting, we're keeping the commandments. And as we're doing so, the Lord is saying, okay, well, the more I'm going to start moving to take down your enemies for you. So they're going to have to bump heads. So now we see the U.S. is now flexing its muscle, test launching hypersonic nuclear missiles. that can reach Moscow in 30 minutes. Why are they measuring how fast it can get to Moscow? Why not just some random place in the Pacific Ocean? Why not, North Korea? Why not one of these other nations? No, they're particularly showing Russia, hey, 30 minutes we can have something over there. Now we see why Russia says, oh, really? Well, guess who I'm buddies with? And I'm getting ready to set up shop right on your borders. So 30 minutes, let's talk 10. Let's talk 5 minutes. You dig what I'm saying? So look, the U.S. military launched a nuclear weapon early Tuesday morning as a part of a test to show the readiness of nuclear U.S. forces and provide confidence in the nation's nuclear deterrence. So if you remember last week, in one of the articles, Russia was using technology that was jamming the U.S.'s weapons and what was it? Like they drone and missile defense systems over there in Ukraine. It was jamming them up. So they were saying, like, I think they said 90% of the weaponry was rendered ineffective. So now America's got to step up and say, guess what? We got it. We're okay. That's the old stuff that we gave them. But if you mess around over here, we got stuff that'll touch you real quick. The U.S. military conducted a test launch of a hypersonic nuclear missile, which is designed to counter the rising military threat of China and Russia. Military officials said the purpose of the test was to show the readiness of nuclear U.S. forces and provide confidence in the nation's nuclear deterrence. Why is everybody talking nukes? I thought them black Israelites and the brown Israelites, I thought they were just crazy. There is no end of the world. There is no end of America. What are you talking about? You guys are crazy. Oh, this is just normal. This is just headlines. I mean, nobody's really serious about this stuff. There ain't a superpower on the earth right now that is not out testing nukes and getting prepared. Ain't nobody talking about conventional warfare at all. Why is that? Because the Most High said that judgment on the earth now is going to come via fire. This is why they're all doing it. Simple and plain. It says the demonstration saw an unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, blasted off at 12:56 Pacific time from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. So we see the Smith at work. Is that Isaiah 56? Or is it 50? No. 54. See the Smith at work, right? Let's read verse 16. It says, behold, Isaiah 54:16 says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. Who's the smith? The smith is the so-called white man who's developing massive weapons and instruments for his work, meaning for whose work? The Most High's work. He's going to have to do the work of the Lord, and he's going to create it to do what he believes is his own will and his own work. I have created the waster to destroy. This is why he was blessed with to live after the sword, the power of the sword. Blow up the coals in the fire. These are the ICBM missiles, man. These are the things that he's out here creating, weapons of mass destruction, as they call it, to start destruction. That's why America's flexing their muscles, saying, oh, well, we got it too. Right? So the Minuteman III, you got Moab, the mother of all bombs. You got the Satan II. They all naming them after, biblical characteristics, with the exception of the Minuteman, But all of them based off of biblical principles. The big ones, I should say. Right? Let's move on. This is a post from X. This guy Douglas McGregor, he's an ex colonel in the military. He's done a lot of analyzing with the particular wars that's been going on. And this is a post that he put. Now, somebody said, "That's X. How do we know it's reliable?" We don't. We don't know if he's on the inside now, but it's okay. We'll see if he's talking crazy or if there's anything else that can confirm what he's talking about. Breaking: NATO now planning to get U.S. troops to the front line to fight Russia. This is what he's saying. U.S. troops is prepared to get on the front lines to fight Russia. What are they thinking? NATO has disclosed its preparations to deploy American troops to the European front lines in the event of a full-scale conflict with Russia. Innovative, quote, land corridors are being established to expedite the movement of soldiers through Central Europe, bypassing local bureaucratic hurdles. This strategic setup enables NATO forces to swiftly react should Putin's aggressive actions in Ukraine extend westward. Reports suggest that these plans also encompass provisions for potential Russian attacks. In such scenarios, troops could mobilize through corridors in Italy, Greece, and Turkey to reach the Balkans, or alternatively advance towards Russia's northern border via Scandinavia. Here we see here all the places that America has military bases lined up: Norway, the Netherlands, Italy, Greece. Remember, America's got over 700 military bases throughout the world. These are their allies here in NATO, aligned countries, where they can come and deploy and attack Russia. And they're saying NATO is getting ready to do it. That's from his X account. But what about this? This is Daily Mail. How NATO plans to get U.S. troops to the front line to fight Russia amid fears Moscow is plotting a major European offensive. Same thing. NATO said to be drawing up contingencies for its plan to send U.S. soldiers into Europe via the Netherlands, allowing the rapid deployment of troops in the event of a war. They know what time it is. They're setting up shop over there. Russia's over here setting up shop via Cuba, tapping in, making sure relations is good. I'm sure they're going to be talking about particular strategies when this thing pops off. They're probably dropping some stuff off over there just to get ready. China's had their relations with Cuba as well. Let me get some. Look at this. China's vowed to support Cuba in defending its national sovereignty. That was last year, August. China has been operating military and spy facilities in Cuba. All right. So what are we talking about? You got China and Russia over there. Why are they both picking Cuba? Same reason why I told y'all before. Because of this area right here, they know that that's a dangerous area for any enemy of America. They don't know when or how it's going to come. That's why they got shook up at the Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 50s and the 60s, right? And it's back on again. As Carlos wisely pointed out, that's the next place you're going. We'll look at that in a minute, man. Transformers going wild. Unreal, right? NATO's drawn up plans to send American troops to the front lines of Europe in the event of an all-out conflict with Russia has been revealed. So we see what's going on. Look at this. Now, look at the story to the right. It says, exclusive. Biden tells Muir U.S. weapons will not be used to strike Moscow and the Kremlin. Biden is in Normandy commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. So, as usual, the fork-tongued creature known as Slow Biden came out and lied again. He says U.S. weapons will not be used to strike Moscow and Kremlin. Okay, hold on. And in his soft, phlegmy voice, U.S. weapons will not be used in Russia. What? What'd you say, Joe? No, it's too late for that. 2 Corinthians 13:1 says, this is the third time I'm coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. So Slow Biden says they're not going to use U.S. weapons to strike Moscow. Okay, here's one article. Number 1, Ukraine uses U.S. weapons to strike inside Russia, according to a senator and a Western official. So he's got 2 insiders that have said, I don't like what's going on, but off the record, they're using our weapons over there, hidden the inside of Russia. While Biden is goofy as ever, he doesn't even know. They've already spilled the beans on him because they don't like him. So they've already said that he's lying. That's our weapons over there. And he's going out there still being a puppet that he is. We're not using the weapons over there. Okay, that was one witness. And in that one article, there was two witnesses that said it, a Western official and a senator. Here's another witness. Ukraine begins strikes on Russian soil using U.S. weapons. Oh. 2 attacks in the past week suggest the lifting of restrictions has allowed Ukraine a more effective defense. So there's 2 witnesses, and within one of those witnesses, there was 2 witnesses. So we're at a total of 4 right now. Going against what Slow Biden said. Slow Biden said they're not using it, so we know he's a damn liar. The devil. There you go. All right. Before we get there, here we go. Here we go. Now, it says straight mayhem. Massive brawl breaks out after pro-Palestinian protesters blocked the Pride Parade in Philly. Now, this is what's so crazy. And you know what? Let me play it, y'all. Watch these damn maniacs.
Welcome to the NBA's grandest stage.
Metro! Hope it comes to the day we...
Look at the Transformers going wild, man. They eyelashes, lace fronts, biceps and halter tops, swinging for the fences. Confused sisters all out there. And it's all Jake. That's the damn problem. All our people out there involved in their folly, man. You know what? Hold on. Let me get a scripture for this madness. All our people hanging out, being wicked as hell, entertaining themselves at a pride parade in Philly. Philly is predominantly Muslim when you talk about religion. It's overran now with the alphabet people. Look at this. First Kings 14. It says, and Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Most High Yahweh did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah, was an Ammonitess. And Judah did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins, which they had committed above all that their fathers had done. Look at this. For they also built them high places and images and groves on every hill and under every green tree. So yeah, idol worship running rampant, sexual promiscuity running rampant. It said under every high hill, under every green tree, they were offering up evil, wicked sacrifices, all kind of massive idolatry going on. But who was in the midst too? Verse 24, and there were also Sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. Why do we bring this out? Because everywhere these people are at, you can best believe there's abominations, there's evil, there's wickedness is going to follow. This is why this place is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, according to Revelation 11 and verse 8. When these people get to turning up in the streets, man, this is why we see the pedophilia rising up. We see sodomy rising up. We see all of the abominable acts of the homosexual movement going on. Child abductions. All of the prostitution. I mean, this is what happens when we get involved in allowing these people to exist within our communities and within our framework of our nation. Nothing but wickedness comes from it. Look at it. Genesis 13:13 says, but the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh exceedingly. I mean, these guys take it to the next level, man. When you see grown men with beards and heavy eyelashes and crazy wigs on and dressing and looking like creatures and having little kids sit on their lap as they're reading them books out of non-binary and sodomite coloring books and all of that, man, you know it's a problem.
When you got the pedophile armies, man, running around here preying on the little kids in the schools and the whole nine. I mean, this is what goes on now. And here they are fighting and jockeying for position in Philly. The pro-Palestinians, they got a little movement going on, and then the sodomites is going on, man. This is what happens when you this. As what's the cat's name, man? I had that song. This is America. Hey, this is it right here, man. And it's all damn Israel. That's why the Most High is going to nuke the hell out of all of them. Look at it. Sodomites Gone Wild. Remember that old video series they had? Girls Gone Wild? No, this is Sodom Gone Wild now. The battle for supremacy of wickedness. I mean, this is a damn shame, man. Another scripture just came to my mind. Hold on. Look at it. Then slapped up, socked up the big boy. I mean, this is unreal. First of all, what are Negroes out there doing on some pro-Palestinian protesting? I mean, we already know they got no business over there, right? At all. They got no business over there. Matter of fact, let me get one more. I think it's in Proverbs 13. 11. Look at Proverbs 11:21 says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. I mean, there's no pro-Palestinian protest that's going to come and prosper for the so-called Negro over there in Philly, duking it out with some damn drag queens and transmissions and studs and lipstick lesbians out there in the streets, man. You can't join hand in hand with a man who enjoys the Hershey Highway. Well, what prosperity do you think is going to come out of that, man? The Lord said, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. That's what it is. Jeremiah 4:22 says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. And we've seen this word sottish before, man. Stupid, wicked people. Foolish. And have not known the Most High. Pro-Palestinians, they think they out there doing some righteous cause, man, so-called being woke. Talking about free Palestine, man. Palestine don't give a damn about you. At all. But the so-called Negro is just so sympathetic, man. Every time they see oppression go on, it just tugs at our heartstrings, and we get sympathetic and empathy for the nations. We say, we know what it feels like. We're going to ride with you. Straight men out there riding with the damn sodomites. I know what it's like to be oppressed, man, and not be accepted. We're riding with you, even though I'm straight. But if you catch me slipping with a drink, I might go your way. Come on, this type of madness goes on. Sodom children, they have none understanding. They're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. None. But they can do this all day. Brawling in the middle of the streets, man, beating the hell out of each other. Rainbow flag capes on. I mean, and this shows you too. Let me pause one more time. This shows you too, man. That these sodomites, man, they're ready to stand their ground and they're ready to go to war over their sexual deviancy. They're ready to go to war for their sins. They're ready to go to war for their wickedness, man. They're ready to go to wars to be in defiance of the Most High and to stay atheists and to have their own faithful beliefs and saying God's going to accept me as I am because my pastor told me. Are you talking about the same pastor that touched on you when you was a kid? When you that guy, Eddie Long, those types. Are you talking about that? Are you talking about the priests at the Catholic Church, man? That was doing and having their way with you. They're the ones told you come as you are. Everything's all good. Come on. And to keep it real, I'm having a hard time believing that this was a pro-Palestinian, issue. Because I don't see no Palestinian flags and nothing going on, man. I think this was just a battle of the sodomites, man. I think they was battling over, you know, they might have been battling over rods and butt cheeks, man. Something might have been going on over there. Because I don't see no real, typically if it's a pro-Palestinian protest, man, you're going to see some heathens in the midst. You're going to see some Palestinian flags raised up. I don't see none. I seen some rainbow flags, and I seen a bunch of damn effeminate swings going on and a bunch of silly women in the midst. But I don't see no pro-Palestinian. I think this is mislabeled. I could be wrong, but I'm going to finish it. But they do have a little, look like a little heathen down there pulling on his hair. Good Lord. Look, this is daytime. We've seen footage going into the night. So they was out there brawling all night. Unreal. Unreal. The saddest children of Israel, man. Yeah, you're right. 2/3 gone wild for sure. For sure. All right, let's look at this, man. So the sodomites are going wild. It says Idaho bar sparks fury for declaring June heterosexual awareness. No, hold on. Heterosexual awesomeness month and giving free beers and 50% discounts to straight men. They said that's. Can you imagine declaring and showing a normalcy to saluting someone for being heterosexual and just saying, hey, we're giving free beers and 50% discounts to straight men? What's wrong with that? I mean, look, they've got days. Hold on. Look at this. They've got a number of days. Here's their calendar. Hold on. Good Lord, this is going to be on my damn algorithm now. Oh, my goodness. See this thing? The things I do for y'all, man, my people, man. I got to love you if I'm putting this on my algorithm. I got to clear my browser or something after this. Look. February. Now they talk about June being their month, right? But look at this. February 7th, National Black HIV Awareness Day. Oh, in honor of Black History Month, man. They're gonna make sure you damn Hershey Highway loving Negroes, man. You go get your AIDS test done, right? And we're gonna acknowledge you for being evil. Week of Valentine's. Hold on. HIV is not a crime awareness day. What about in March? Oh, it's Bisexual Health Awareness Month. National Women's and Girls HIV Awareness Month, National Native HIV. Notice what comes along with it. And this is on their website, the GLAAD website. Constantly being aware that, hey, this is what comes with it if you want to come hang with us. You can get hit with the plague. Oh, but look at this. International Transformer Day of Visibility. That's March 31st. They've got more days to celebrate every month. International Asexuality Day, another Youth HIV Day. I mean, they Transformer HIV Test Day, Non-Binary Parents Day, Lesbian Visibility Day. Oh, now we're in May. What else we got here? International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, Biphobia. Good Lord. Asian Pacific, they ain't forgot about you. Harvey Milk Day, Pansexual and Pan-Romantic Awareness and Visibility Day. Look how many days they got. And now we get to their quote-unquote month. Now they got the month. LGBTQ Family Day. Queer Youth of Faith Day. Youth. in inclusion with all these other damn days. Non-binary Awareness Day, International Drag Day in July, Gay Uncles Day. I mean, what? Look at this, man. Bisexual Awareness Week, National Gay Men's HIV Day, Aging Awareness Day with having the plague. Oh, here's another month. We didn't even know about that. October, Halloween. Good Lord. Another International Lesbian Day, National Coming Out Day. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. Who are they talking about there being denied anything? Can you imagine? They're being celebrated multiple times a month. Multiple. Which gives more credence to Revelation 11. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So, you know, this goes without saying. They are being honored and glorified here. So they can go out there and act a damn fool. So when a bar in Idaho says, hey, I just want to have heterosexual awesomeness month, you guys got multiple days throughout the year. And they said this sparks outrage because they're getting a free beer and 15% discounts to some dudes that says, hey, I'm straight. Let me get a beer. The nerve of the damn sodomites, man, to twist up their nose and their lips and say, how dare he be straight and declare it and get a free beer? Where's my free beer? Bitch, you got the whole damn month. And some. What are you talking about? They run around carrying out mass shootings and nobody says nothing after they carry them out. There's no investigations into them being a terrorist organization, a domestic terror. Nothing, man. It's unbelievable. So this bar in Idaho, they getting demonized because they saying, listen, man, straight men stand up. Look, more than 1 million United Methodists quit the church overnight after sex rule change. All praise to the Most High for this. At least some damn churches got a little bit of a backbone. And guess where they at? The church in Africa. You know, them Africans, man, they ain't playing. Especially if they're coming from areas in West Africa and Central Africa where the Israelite migrations was happening. It's in our spirit, man. So we ain't with that. And they hold on to particular values over there. So the United Methodist Church says they're switching up and saying they're going to approve gay pastors and have same-sex marriages going on in the church permanently now. And now you had 1 million Methodist Church members and the heads of their churches back away from the United Methodist Church and say we're not with that. This is going too far now. We were with you with white Christ. We was with you with Jesus loves everybody and saving the world. We was with you with it. But hold on now. Now you're saying it's approved. Gay pastor's going to be preaching the word now. And I've got to, conduct same-sex marriages in Africa. No, we're not doing that. The Ivory Coast division of the church responded by defecting on May 28th. Leader Bishop Benjamin Boni blasted the umbrella church for siding with LGBT. Shout out to Bishop Benjamin Boni for standing on business, as they say. He's the head of the Ivory Coast branch of the United Methodists and said, we're not moving forward with that. That's out of here. Okay. More than 1 million United Methodists have quit the church overnight over new rules about homosexuality. Because now what's that going to open up? Over 1 million of them now are going to be saying they've lost faith in the church. We got to find the truth. They ain't lost faith in the Most High. They got a standard as far as morality is concerned. Now, if there's any Israelites over there, now's the time that we can boop, boop. Hey, this is the truth over here. You did right. But you got to get the whole picture. If they're Israel. We're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm sure that there's some Israelite remnants in the Ivory Coast over in there, for sure. During a North Carolina conference in early May, the United Methodist Church, a global denomination of Protestantism based in the U.S., change some regulations to allow gay pastors and same-sex marriage. You see how America now is pushing the image of the beast and allowing the beast image to speak, and now they're trying to transform the whole imagery of the great harlot, the mother of harlots, this whore nation, moving in the spirit of Sodom. Now they're going to implement it into the churches and the pastors and say, hey, you know, we're changing doctrine now. We need you to ride along. And the good bishop over there said, no, I'm taking me and my 1.2 million followers over here. We're out of here. The Ivory Coast Division, which has an estimated 1.2 million followers, responded by accusing the international leaders of deviating from the Holy Scriptures and sacrificing its honor and integrity to honor the LGBTQ, they forgot, plus HIV community. So there you have it. Mass exodus is coming out the churches because of their folly and them trying to influence people to follow after the ways of Sodom. Let's continue. Look at this. As drag events face threats, Philly sets record for most attended story time. This don't stop. Again in Philly. I'm sure the brothers in Philly got to be hanging their head, especially the Muslims. Got to be hanging their head saying, wow. In our city of brotherly love, they've set a record for the most attended at a drag queen story time. This again is where they have the drag queens reading stories to the kids, dancing, teaching them how to twerk. All kind of madness goes on at these damn events. Men scantily clad, acting like they're women. I mean, it's unreal. I'm sure y'all have seen some of the videos and some of the abominable things that goes on at these events. Now that coming out in droves, and then you wonder why America's got to get hit with nukes, man. Philadelphia leaders were on a mission to attract a record-setting number of guests to a drag event kicking off Pride Month, but safety concerns left them wary of promoting the event they hope will make history. Federal officials last month warned of terrorist possibly targeting LGBTQ plus events. Stores, gyms, and restaurants have faced bomb threats over Pride merchandise, inclusive policies, or drag events. So on Friday, just one day before the drag story time in Philly, organizers finally made the event public, describing their goal to set a record. Kids and kids at heart will enjoy stories read by Philly's most famous queens. I'm about to throw up. The event posting read, on Saturday, they met their goal. Philadelphia claimed the first title for the largest attendance at Drag Queen Storytime reading. Guinness World Records confirmed to the Washington Post. I mean, good Lord. Let me move on. Look at this. They're out of control, man. Transformers and transmissions running wild, man. I mean, the engines is running. They're riding and acting a damn fool in Philly. They setting records at the Drag Queen Story Times. And look at this. Tremaine Dion Carroll, 51. I mean, this is a straight up nigga. That's all this is. And he went to jail and he went to prison saying he was a transformer. Looking just like that. And what happened? Bearded trans inmate is removed from California women's prison after raping a female cellmate. This is the type of games they in there playing, man. And remember a year or so ago, you had a transformer in the jail in New Jersey and got like 2 females pregnant in there. I mean, these dudes are sitting there just. How do you look at this guy in the face as he's telling you I'm trans, I'm non-binary, put me in with the women. And they just say, okay, I gotta take your word for it. Fine. Set him up with the females. He in there, man, going wild. Now they took him out, they threw him back with the men. I mean, what happened? I thought they were supposed to respect the pronouns. I thought they were supposed to still respect it, even though, okay, you got caught up raping a female cellmate, then throw them in the hole transfer them to another female jail. That's what they're supposed to be doing if they're going to honor their damn system of inclusion. Now they want to recognize he's a man. They set his ass up. They threw him over there with the men. And now he's over there crying, talking about he's scared for his life. You talk about hypocrisy, man. Unreal. I'm not even going to read this. We're moving on. A woman mayor was shot dead in Mexico the day after Claudia Sheinbaum's historic presidential win. You know, one of the brothers has sent the article talking about the number of assassinations that was happening in Mexico. I think it reached record numbers leading up to Claudia Sheinbaum's landslide victory to become the first female president of Mexico. Despite the fact of her being a GMO small hat, as we covered last week, you know, we were just scratching our heads saying, hey, man, you know, can we put anything past them, man? Could these assassinations be behind her with this landslide victory, knowing that she's a small hat? Who knows, right? But clearly, somebody over there in Mexico ain't feeling it because they done already shot a female mayor and sending her a message. She got her hands full. The mayor of a town in Western Mexico, and you see just how Putin's one of his top cabinet advisors, that bro was like, we're using everything. We're using all nuclear bombs. So Claudia Sheinbaum might go DEFCON 4 too to protect herself. Who knows? 30 potential candidates were unalive. Can you imagine? See that? All for a little small hat woman to come in there, perpetrate the fraud that she's a native. And yeah, here you go. Go figure. Go figure. As the bodies are still dropping under her watch. The mayor of a town in Western Mexico was killed on Monday, the regional government said, barely 24 hours after Claudia Sheinbaum was elected the Latin American country's first woman president. The Michoacan state government condemned the murder of the municipal president, mayor of Cotilla, Yolanda Sanchez Figueroa. The regional interior ministry said in a post on social media, the murder of the woman mayor comes after Sheinbaum's landslide victory injected people for change in the country, riven by rampant gender-based violence. Gender-based violence, really? So the cartel wars, that's gender-based violence that's going on over there? The corruption that's going on within the governmental system and the police and the army, that's gender-based? I mean, what? The poverty that's going on over there, that's gender-based? Really? I mean, what the hell are they talking about? I mean, this is some unreal stuff, man. You're not in Kansas anymore, brothers and sisters, man. You've now entered the twilight zone. Mexico, peso drops, stocks tumble on Morena, supermajority concerns. She jumps in, female mayor gets shot, the peso drops, stocks tumbling. Somebody isn't really with her presidency. Mexico peso tumbled as much as 4.1% against the dollar on Monday, and the local stock market fell over 2% after the ruling party scored a surprisingly strong election, showing and looked poised for a supermajority. The market fear might bring constitutional change to diminish checks and balances. So they said, oh, she's going to bring justice here. Yeah, meanwhile, 30 bodies laid out on her way to the top. Another one just got put to death. The economy is crashing, right? And she wins in a landslide, man. And we know how America operates when they, because remember the last president, man, he clearly came out and was against America. See, they trying to find a little headline because I remember him talking about America. See, they just keep. I said former president. They still talking about her. See how they got the algorithms lined up with her? Not Vicente Fox. Who was the president? The previous president. Dang. Hold on. I remember him coming out against him too. It was him for sure. Damn. See, I wanted to find an article. That's okay. I don't want to take too much time on trying to find what he said. But he definitely had some harsh words about America, how they were handling something. I just can't remember what it was. I think they was okay, so Mexico president says he won't fight drug cartels on U.S. orders. So he was already, Mexico president rejects irresponsible calls for U.S. military. Yeah, some issues with them talking about the cartel, but it was something else too. But anyway. Yeah, Mexican president to speak with Biden about climate change. Yeah, this is one of them too. Mexico president complains U.S. is funding the opposition. So he was bumping heads with America a lot. And what better way? The water runner, y'all. I got him. What better way than to put in a new puppet? You know, former president, man, he ain't playing nice. He got a lot of lip for America. So what better way to go ahead and change regimes, man? Do the unthinkable. Questionably, bodies dropping all over the place. She wins in a landslide. Got the people duped that change is coming. Didn't they just do the same thing with slow Biden? Oh, he's gonna build back better. Obama says he's gonna. Yes, we can. You know, Trump slogan, we're going to make America great again. They always selling hope, man. They selling heroin dope. Hero hope. But, I would not be surprised, man, if she's a plant by America. But look, she got her work cut out for her. Mexico City is just the beginning. Here are 11 other cities at risk of running out of water. They're already in massive drought. They're in drought right now. Mexico City is running out of water, man. They've got lines of people waiting with jugs in their hand. You know? Hold on. Our people require a sign. Let's look at some images. Now look at this. Mexico City drought, and they showing damn monkeys and lions. I mean, how disrespectful and ridiculous is that, man? It's unbelievable. Now here's a little bit. They're lining up to fill up buckets with water, man. But yeah, they're running out of water over there in Mexico City, man. There's a major drought going on. And you know what? Shalaki, I'm about to go to the scripture. Nehemiah 5, right? It says, and there was a great cry of people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. So here goes an instance during the time of Nehemiah, post-Babylon, right? And there's strife going on between the nobles and the hierarchy within Jerusalem. And you got the poor people tripping. Now look, it says, for there were that said, We, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore, we take up corn for them that we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn because of the dearth. The dearth is the famine. The dearth is the drought. And these were the means that people were having to sell just to survive. They had to mortgage their lands to get money, resources, their vineyards, their houses. So just so that they can buy some corn to survive and eat. That's coming to America. That's already hitting in Mexico and various other places in South Central America, the Middle East. You know, when Christ said, man, there's going to be famines in the earth. I mean, that's what's going on right now, man. You got to imagine how many third world countries right now are dealing with extreme poverty and hunger crises. It was just 126 degrees over in India. They're dropping dead like flies over there. They're experiencing drought. Look, there were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute and that upon our lands and vineyards. So they're over there taking payday loans. That's why you see them all in the hoods in America. Payday loans and fast cash and mortgage, pink slip loans and all that other stuff, man. Our people are doing the same thing. Borrow money for the king's tribute that upon the land. So the kings wasn't having no mercy. They were still like, man, we need that money. And so did the Persians and the Medes. They needed the money too. And the nobles that were set up before them, they was like, hey, we need that money. We got to pay tribute. Verse 5, yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. So they sold off their lands to other men, to the heathen, whatever the case may be. We know the law in regards to having Hebrew servants or whatnot. Your brother goes into debt, he can work it off, he can become a servant. All that was going on. All because of this was happening, right? But look, our people went into wickedness. And I was very angry when I heard their cry in these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers and said unto them, ye exact usury, every one of his brother, and I set a great assembly against them. So Nehemiah had to rebuke them. But this is all going to come down, in America, man. It's going to be the have and the have-nots, and even amongst our own people. Exacting usury. People that got a little bit of something, that saved up. Oh, well, you give me that. Give me your daughter. I'll give you some water. I'll give you some food, or whatever the case may be. I'll give you a bucket of rice and beans and 6 bottled waters, but I need double and triple that back. This is what it's going to be boiling down to. Jeremiah 50:38 says, a drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Lord knows there's a massive idolatry going on in Mexico City. Catholicism being the ruling religion over there, man. The statues of Guadalupe and Cesare Borgia over there. The massive amount of saints that they have, man. They got saints from prostitutes to drug dealers and you name it, all going down over there. Right? Yeah, Carlos, yeah. You got the GMO, you wish people down there. It's a recipe for disaster, man. You talk about a poisonous brew. Yeah. So look at all of these countries, man, that's experiencing droughts right now. Mexico City, Cairo, Egypt, Bogota, Colombia, Johannesburg, South Africa, Kuwait City, Kuwait, Beirut in Lebanon, Muscat, Oman, Limassol in Cyprus, Jakarta in Indonesia, Lahore, Pakistan, Beijing, China, and Delhi, India. All of them are in massive drought right now. So the Spirit of the Lord is moving on all of these heathen nations, man, and our own people. Colombia, Mexico, getting hit up. Look, Nigeria's power grid got shut down. Airlines disrupted as a union strike. There's massive strikes going on over there in Nigeria. They killed the power grid over there. All because, you know, the people want a living wage over there. They're getting paid crumbs over there in Nigeria. Seriously. Nigeria loses electricity and major airports shut down as unions demand more than a 1,500% increase in minimum wage amid record inflation. Listen to that. 1,500% increase in minimum wage amid record inflation, right? In America, we've been dealing with record inflation. Now you see, and we thinking we're not in the same position because of the amenities and the cloak and dagger stuff that America got lined up. Oh, remember, she's arrayed in pearls and purple and scarlet and, you know, all this other stuff. She got everybody fooled, man, but she's a big old hoe. Empty inside, right? Record inflation has got McDonald's workers now getting $20 an hour. They're talking about $25 an hour for healthcare workers, including janitors. There was some city councilwoman, man, back some months ago. She was talking about raising the minimum wage to $50 an hour because of the inflation. What's the difference in Nigeria? They're saying 1,500% increase. The same things is going on here, just on the scale of America's economy. Nigeria's economy is already broke down and jacked up, but the same thing is going to be happening here. Don't think it's not. It's already going on. It's just put in a position. That's why they're seeing, oh, $20 an hour, but guess what? Your hours is getting cut. You're getting laid off. Your benefits is gone. You ain't got the, you know, everybody got that $20 an hour, man. They all said their hours got cut, or they came to work and found out that they didn't have a job no more. Businesses closing up, all these little restaurants closing up. Same thing is happening, man. And it's going to get worse here. So this is just a heads up. The workers that worked at the power grid, man, they shut it down. Nigeria's main labor unions have shut down the national electric grid and disrupted flights across the country as they began an indefinite strike over the government's failure to agree a new minimum wage. So a living wage, they shut down the whole damn power grid. And it says it's indefinite. You know, that's what's so interesting about that, man. When we used to have to discipline it, and, you know, and it still goes down. When judgments have to go down, man, I used to always say, somebody got suspended or disciplined, it was indefinite, the time they begun. And people used to always scratch their head and get, well, indefinite, like, that doesn't mean forever. That just means for an undefined time frame. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 6 months. It's indefinite. There's no determined time yet. That depends on how fast an individual works on themselves, repents, so forth and so on. So the turnaround time is dependent upon the individual. But that word, we should strike fear in people. Indefinite. Whoa. That ain't right. They're gone forever. Look up the word and slow down. Right? As they began an indefinite strike, so now they're over there saying, well, we don't know when we're going to turn this power back on. We're in negotiations, right? We need some money. So it says, we demand a living wage, the NLC said on X. It and the TUC represent hundreds of thousands of government workers across key sectors. The unions want the current minimum monthly wage of 30,000 naira. That's $20. Did you hear that? Currently, in a union, working for the government in Nigeria, your minimum wage is $20 a month. That's $5 a week. That's what they're living off of over there. They said they wanted to be increased to nearly 500,000 naira, which is $336 a month. The government is off to 60,000 naira, which is $40. Can you imagine, man? And our people is over there. Nigeria's got Israelites, no question. And, you know, we got to just see where and why the Most High has kind of blessed us to where we're at. Yeah, we catching hell and we going through it too. But can you imagine you getting $20 out? Now, granted, I'm sure the market and the cost of goods and services over there is relatively cheap within the $20 a month range. You know, I'm sure a lot of things cost coins. However, if they're still saying they can't live off of that, they need at least $300 some odd to survive. That's only going to show you what's going on. And you hear the same arguments and people over here complaining. We're not making enough to survive. I'm working 2 and 3 jobs to survive. The cost of everything is going up. My wages and my hours are going down. So when these strikes start happening over here and you got unions and everybody else seizing the power and saying, man, shut it down, we're locking the doors, whatever the case may be, we are going to have to be prepared for certain insurrections and things that go down, man, because pressure busts pipes, as we see over there in Nigeria. The unions demand would increase the government's wage bill by 9.5 trillion naira, or 6.3 billion, which is capable of, quote, destabilizing the economy, the information minister Muhammad Idris said. So he said, man, if we give them what we want, our whole economy is going to collapse. So Nigeria's in trouble. Big trouble. Let's move on. Look at this. Nearly 55 million face hunger in the West and Central Africa, the UN warns. So is the famine going on? Is hunger going on? Is disease up? Drought going on? It's all going down, man. And we already talked about all the world war issues happening. So when we're seeing all these things, and like I said, man, Yahweh foretold of all of these things. Now, they may not have the resources, but I'm trying to tell everybody, hey, that same issue is going to be coming to a neighbor near you, a city near you, and just be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. Look at this guy. And you know this debate's coming up with Trump and Biden, right? And you know Biden is going, he's going to say, Trump is an ex-felon. You can't have an ex-felon be a president. And he better hope and pray to Satan that his son doesn't get convicted of these felony counts, because Trump is going to mop his ass up and talking about ex-felon. What about your son? He's gonna have a hard time. Okay. Hunter Biden bought a revolver and full metal jacket bullets while smoking crack every 15 minutes. Prosecutors tell the court. I mean, this cat, man. Hold on. This guy's a mess, man. And it just show you, man, Slow Biden family is a complete mess. Remember the memoirs of his daughter, talking about how she was sexually exploited and showers where dad wasn't appropriate, and with Hunter Biden and married his brother Bo's wife. Now Bo died. Now this was listen. I'm not going to speak against the laws of the Most High. The scriptures tell us about the duty of a brother's wife in Numbers, the 25th chapter. Man, if a man with a brother dies and his brother doesn't have seed, it's his lawful obligation to raise up seed and a name for his brothers, so his brother's inheritances and land can, and his name can be carried on, right? The objective is for him to have a son, so his son can carry on. So it's not the fact that he married his brother's wife, right? But his brother has a son. So there was no need for that in the eyes of righteousness. I'm talking about in the law. Even though we know Esau don't follow the law. So I'm not going to say, how can he marry? Because then I'll be speaking ill of the law. And I'm not going to do that. But this ain't a lawful issue. The dude, man, got as soon as the damn brother's body probably wasn't even, was still warm before he prayed on his damn sister-in-law, got with her. She testified against him, talking about, man, this dude got her hooked on crack. They both smoking rocks, man. He had the gun, had her ditch the gun in the trash can. All kind of madness was going on. But look at Sirach 22 and 3. It says, an evil nurtured man is the dishonor of his father that begat him. So an evil nurtured man, if he's nurtured and raised in evil, he's going to be the dishonor of his father. Why? His father's raised him in evil. His father raised him in wickedness. And that's slow Biden. Wicked butt. Now he's going to bring dishonor to good old dad. And a foolish daughter is born to his loss. So now he's got a daughter that's out there who's a lost cause. You dig what I'm saying? As she's talking about that she was hypersexualized and, molested and all kind of madness going on, man. Slow Biden having inappropriate showers with her. I mean, it's born to his loss. That's the nature of the Biden crime family, man. You seen? I remember having the other article with his brother, Jim. I think his brother Jim is caught in some scandal too. Look at it. James Biden, $51 million scandal. Keith Langston pleads guilty in a massive Medicare fraud. Look, the whole family's wicked as hell. His brother's out. Look, Biden's brother paid to settle business dispute with the Saudi government. They're doing payoffs, man. James Biden, the president's brother, testifies behind closed doors. His brother's out there snitching. I mean, this is who's running the damn country right now, man. Son on crack, dope fiend, dishonoring his father, man. They said this dude was smoking rocks like, cigarettes. And he's a functional dope fiend. They said, man, he was do crack, man, and be completely operational. So we're finding weed in the White House, coke in the White House. I mean, this guy's dishonoring his father, man. All kind of folly on his laptop. Corrupt business deals with Ukraine and China. Payoffs to his pops. And he's on trial right now. Slow Biden about to go to this debate. He's in trouble, man. What's the name gonna light him up over this? He already did it before in that last debate. He had Slow Biden stumbling and mumbling, man. Proverbs 10 says in verse 23, it is a sport to a fool to do mischief. So he's a fool, man. All he likes to do is do mischief. Smoking cigarettes, crack rocks, buying prostitutes, filming himself, doing crack naked, filming himself with a sexual, exploits with harlots, corrupt business deals, popping his teeth out, all kind of madness, man. Lusting after his brother's wife, turned her out on crack. He thinks it's all fun and games. It's a sport for a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom, man, which clearly him and his daddy and the rest of his wicked household has none at all. Let's move on. Beloved Mexican chain abruptly shuts 48 restaurants in California. States $20 an hour minimum wage has its first casualty. Again, this is what we're talking about with the inflation rates and the 20. See, they want the raises over there in Nigeria. They just got to say, man, if we give that to y'all, man, the whole economy is going to collapse. We can't do it. Rubio's. Anybody been to Rubio's? I've seen them, but I've never been. $20 an hour fast food minimum wage has its first casualty. Mexican chain Rubio's Coastal Grill is shuttering 48 restaurants in the state because of the rising cost of doing business in California. All 48 gone down the tubes. You seen what was it? Red Lobster, they closing all their doors. All kind of places is closing their doors, man. Mom and pop spots, man, can't survive no more. You're looking at the prices of food, man. I just went to we got some jerk chicken and some rice and peas for the new moon. We had it catered at this little spot, man, and they do burgers as well. And they had a sign on there, and they said, "Burgers are back." And they were selling a cheeseburger. I'm assuming it was a combo. $17.99. And this is a hole in the wall Jamaican spot. They're trying to come up on the burger. No, such like $16.99 for a cheeseburger. I mean, who's doing this now? I was looking like, are you sick? They're already talking about Big Mac combos is $18.99 in some places. Who the hell is buying Big Macs for $18? Are you mad? This is going to shut down all of these people, man. So Rubio's RIP. They're out of here. FDIC warns that 63 lenders are on the brink of insolvency. This is big news. The FDIC is who insures all these bank deposits. They're going through the books and they're saying, based upon what we're seeing right now, you got 63 of these lenders, these banks, man, that's getting ready to go insolvent. They got $517 billion of unrealized losses. They're blaming it on mortgage-backed securities. They lost money on mortgages, commercial real estate. In other words, man, you know what happens when the banks don't have the money in the accounts. They're shuffling around. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're doing overnight deposits and lendings. They're trying to get up these loans. That's why they don't want a bank run to go down, because if everybody massively runs into the bank and says, I want my money out, the bank's just going to freak out because they ain't got the cash on hand. They don't have it. And the FDIC is who's supposed to insure, and they say up to $250,000 for most banks. They're saying, we can't cover that. That's not going to go down. So we're talking about the banking system getting ready to collapse too. It says FDIC warns that 63 lenders are on the brink of insolvency due to banks sitting on $517 billion in unrealized losses. And you've got Governor Newsom here in California somehow mysteriously loses $26 or $24 billion for homeless relief. And nobody can account for it. And they damn sure ain't been no change about the homeless, man. The camps and the tents, cities is all over the place still. Ain't nothing changed. 20 some odd $billion, man, they couldn't account for it. These guys, man, is lining their pockets up, man, doing all kind of, white collar wickedness, man, cooking the books, erasing and depleting data and all kind of madness. Meanwhile, these banks are sitting back saying, we don't have the money. And the FDIC is saying, we can't insure those losses. That's too much. Yeah, there you go. See that? Bank bail-ins around the corner. No one talking about the debt ceiling no more. Yeah. We are. We are over here. They sweeping it under the rug, man, because they got everybody worried about Caitlin Clark with the WNBA. I mean, that's a whole nother damn distraction, man. Trying to shine all this light on this damn white girl, man, because she come in hot stuff in the WNBA. She brings some light over there. But they said the WNBA all of a sudden got all this people watching now for the white girl. And she's in there getting punked by sisters. And now they're like, oh, they're just hating on her because she's white and this isn't right and she's being bullied and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hold on. They're playing tough D. They're not trying to let her come up in there doing the stuff that she was doing in college, shooting 40-foot threes and doing all kind of matters. They're like, nah, you're not finna come up in here and take away my livelihood. This is how I'm living. And she'd probably be in there talking stuff. We don't hear her mic'd up. There's a lot of ish talking that goes on the court, but they want everybody distracted over here. Oh, what's happening in WNBA? The WNBA is a losing business. They're always in the rear. They're trying to pump it up. They're trying to get people distracted on that. They're trying to get people distracted with Trump. They're trying to get people distracted with Diddy and everything, every other little thing under the sun. Meanwhile, you got 63 banks about to collapse and close up. The FDIC saying we can't insure what's going on. So will they do another bail-in? Who's going to pay for that? Of course we will. And the presidents and the CEOs going to get bonuses like they did back in 08. Or they just let it collapse and they say, you know what, we got a new system that's coming up. Get your QR codes and the system of the beast world IDs ready to go. If you want in, we're going to digitize your money. We'll insure it, this way. It's the only way you're going to be able to get your losses back. We'll reset it and everything's back on track. So this is what's going down. The surge was driven by higher residential mortgage-backed securities losses held by banks due to rising mortgage rates. Q1 of 2024 also marked the 10th consecutive quarter of unrealized losses, an even longer streak than during the 2008 financial crisis. Did you hear that? So they're saying right now it's even worse than 2008, first quarter. And back then, I remember people losing their homes, squatting, waiting to get kicked out, moving into garages, eating off of hot plates. These individuals I knew, right? When that little 2008 financial crisis hit, when they was just handing out money like, loans like candy, preying on Jakes who they knew had no business getting these particular loans and getting themselves in debt. And then when the adjustable rates switched, they go from paying $1,200 a month for a 5-bedroom house. The next thing you know, it's up to $4,000 and they can't pay it and they're out of there. They're doing the same thing right now. I think out of Michigan, there's a bank out of there, 0% down, free, come on in. First time buyers, we got you. But meanwhile, they're not saying that it's under the guise of being a second mortgage, a balloon payment on the end of your final payment, or if you refinance and you get some money, they're taking it out of that too. Once they adjust everything up, man, Jake's going to lose their houses again. They're just trying to survive any way they can. It's wild. But yeah, this is what's getting ready to happen. Moving on. Biden blames Trump for the border crisis. I mean, at this point, it's laughable, man. He's been at the helm since 2020, and he's talking about this problem is Trump's fault. Who's buying it? This started with Obama, and he was vice president then. What's he talking about? Biden blames Trump for the border crisis as he announced his first crackdown in 3 years and reveals migrants can still get into the U.S. if they use an app. Now, look, very interesting. Now he wants to do something about the border. Remember before he said, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. It's on Congress. Congress got to sign the bill. If you sign the bill, I'll do it right away. Now all of a sudden, Congress ain't did nothing, but he's got the power to make changes. Remember when he first came out, there's no crisis at the border, man. The border is secure. Everything's great. We don't need a wall. Now all of a sudden, when it's election time and they see everybody's tripping about migrants and the benefits and everything else that's going on, oh, now he says, oh, I can do something about it. I'm only going to let in 2,500 per day. A week. After that, the Border Patrol is going to send them back. No. I just seen a news report today. They were talking about, man, 2,500, they coming in by the thousands. The one video I was watching, it was Fox News. It was one Border Patrol agent, man, trying to control and deal with like 500-600 people. And they just was like, please, marched on right past him. And he's like, hey, I can't stop these people, man. The zombies is coming. I'm not finna get in the way. But leave it to this guy. He says, man, it's Trump's fault, man. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. You tell me he's ready for another 4 years. imagine having to be a security detail man and direct him, and they just got to sit there with a straight face and not say, Mr. President, come on, move. Mr. President, this way. Hey, Joe, come on, slow by. Hey, wake up. Jim Crow Joe, man. Sleepy Joe. It's time to wake up, man. He gets out the truck, man. He's completely lost. He don't know where he's at. Now I see why Trump said, babe, he wants drug testing going on. How's he going to maintain a 2-hour debate? I don't give a damn. With the commercials, we know he's going to go shoot up and get an IV, Adderall or something in his arms to keep him going. This is just straight out the truck. He's lost. Really? This was just like a week or so ago with meeting President Macron. They had a meeting. Now he just shakes hands. Now watch him look for a seat.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
What was he doing? Is there an imaginary seat right there, man, that he's trying to hold on to and sit down? Was his legs getting weak? I mean, what's really going on with this dude?
The Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
They've inflicted on the Russian aggressor.
Distinguished guests.
Hold on, man.
Please.
One more time. I'm still stuttering. Look at this.
Distinguished guests.
And his wife,
please welcome the
Joe,
Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
Stand up.
They've inflicted on the Russian aggressor. They've suffered tremendous losses, Russia. The numbers are stacked on the Russian aggressor. They've suffered tremendous.
You hear the remix? The shepherds, the second, we're from Russian. The dude says they suffer tremendous destruction with the Russians, and the Russians have this. Good Lord, I can't even follow this up now. When the tongue gets slithering, man, he don't know what's happening.
Lloyd J. Austin.
They've inflicted on the Russian aggressor. They've suffered tremendous losses, Russia.
He said they've suffered tremendous losses, Russia. So he's saying how bad it is for Russia right now. We're so sympathetic.
The numbers are staggering. 350,000 Russian troops dead or wounded.
He's supposed to be saying Ukrainian. Wifey had to get him up out of there, man, and left the French president there to try to greet everybody and deal with him because slow Biden, he was lost, man. What? The French president, he got to go and deal with the troops, the D-Day troops. This is the whole little memorial thing. He running around shaking with the veterans. Slow Biden is supposed to be doing it. This guy's from France. What's he doing shaking these damn people? All right, you know what? Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Oh, look at this. The you know what that you get in your arm may have helped fuel the rise in excess death. Oh, no kidding. You don't say. So I guess it wasn't, YouTube was striking channels and kicking people off and seizing accounts and doing all kind of stuff if you said this 2 years ago. You said this a year and a half ago, 3 years ago. Trust me, I know we done lost accounts, lost 2 YouTube channels, multiple strikes on this one. I mean, and now they come out. This is a prime example of gaslighting, man. You tell them, hey, no, this isn't right. Hold on, no, I got some proof. I'm reading articles. Doctors are saying this. Nothing's going on, man. You're tripping. You're inciting fear. You're going to get people killed if you tell them don't take that. Now they double back and say, oops, guess what? We've got multiple researchers and scientists and doctors out of Europe saying, you know, since we started poking people in the arms, man, the death counts have been going up dramatically and all with the same type of symptoms. What's going on? The only thing that's changed is this experimental thing that we came up with that we asked everybody to mandatorily roll up their sleeves and get a poke in the arm, getting joints for jabs, getting a prostitute for a jab. Remember that? Getting a free burger for a jab. All of those little giveaways, lottery tickets if you roll up them sleeves. Little did they know, so many people came up, man, dead now. Those VXXs could be partly to blame for the rise in excess deaths since the pandemic, scientists have suggested. Researchers from the Netherlands analyzed data from 47 Western countries and discovered there had been more than 3 million excess deaths since 2020, with the trend continuing despite the rollout of those things in the arm and containment measures. And, you know, they've had Frankenstein Fauci on Front Street in congressional hearings, grilling the hell out of him. And he's still standing on it, that he did everything right and some things was misunderstood and all that. And they like, man, you're responsible for millions of deaths. And the dude don't blink an eye. They said that quote unquote unprecedented figures raised serious concerns and called on governments to fully investigate the underlying causes, including possible jab harms. Oh, so yeah, we're talking about the issues, the heart issues, the blood clots, strokes, all kind of madness going on with people that got hit with this thing. And they say, nothing to see here. Truth's coming out. Look at this. Kansas City Chiefs player B.J. Thompson, 25, is, quote, still unconscious after cardiac arrest. His agent reveals as his family asked for continued prayers. I wonder what happened to poor B.J. Y'all seen the videos? You seen the articles I pulled out showing the number of athletes falling out, cardiac arrest on the field, soccer fields, basketball, football. I mean, hell, LeBron James' son had cardiac arrest last year before he started his college career. I don't know if it was the jab or not, but there's a definite link that the jabs have been causing that. Prime example. Everybody seen that Cat Williams interview, and he said 2024 is going to be the year of the truth. And Hollywood and music industry is going to have a complete, upheaval regarding this truth of what's going on behind closed doors and all the wickedness. People said he was crazy, he was tripping, he don't know what he's talking about. Diddy gets hit. Who else? I mean, there's been a couple of other cases that's been jumping off. What's his name? Even though Jonathan Majors, he lost all his deals. Now, I did see the video. He looked like he was the victim, but he shouldn't have been swirling with that damn demon Edomite broad, man. Doesn't even matter. They had her on video chasing him down the street, kicking him out the car and all kind of madness, and they still hit him. Called him guilty. So let you know, man, you a nigga on camera, off camera, doesn't matter, man. You not finna, some poor little lily blonde white haired woman says that you was abusing her and all that other stuff, man. And even though it's on tape, she's doing it, you going down. So forget about it, bro. The Dream, R&B star and Beyonce songwriter, he's being accused of rape now. Whether it's not as true, we'll find out. But here's another one. I mean, Hollywood is getting overturned with a lot of the corruption going on. The Nickelodeon, Dan Schneider. Why isn't his fat ass locked up right now? They got Harvey Weinstein. They just overturned him, trying to get him up out of there before he croaks and dies up in the pen. But I think they sending him back down on appeal. Who else has it been? There's been a few. But y'all know, right? Look at this. Why white fortress cities are rising up across the South as wealthy residents break away from poor, predominantly black neighborhoods. White flight is back, y'all. White flight is back. See, these Edomites, man, that got this paper, they know that the issue's about to hit the fan. Civil unrest is finna go down. Scarcity of goods, power, resources, you name it, is finna go down. And they don't want to live by you niggas. That's the bottom line, because they know they're going to get raided, killed, and the whole nine. And they like, white flight, we need to get up out of here. The same thing, our people experience that here in LA. The predominant areas that used to be white are now inhabited by blacks. And they had a movement called white flight. They got up out of there. George Bush used to live in Compton. And I think they, an example of that is that show on Prime, Amazon Prime, Them, where the black family moved from the South. Brother got a promotion at a job, moved to Compton, working at the plant, and Compton was all white. That's real. For those that aren't familiar with California, Compton used to be white. Watch the jungles, They used to have white gang called the Spook Hunters. Used to chase Jakes. Jakes couldn't cross a street called Central. Across Central, man, you was on the wrong side of the road, man. Esau was coming to get you. All that's changed now, but hey, there's nothing new under the sun, as thus saith the Lord. Now these Edomites is breaking out, man. They getting away from Jakes, and they setting up white fortress cities, all white towns. They only want their own. But see, that's scriptural too, and that's just the this is just like a small smattering of what it's really going to turn into when it's all said and done. Look at this. Isaiah 13:14. This is the destruction Babylon's going to go through. Verse 14. It says, and it shall be as the chase roe and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. See? So when Babylon gets to be judged, man, and you start seeing the spirit now. Esau is trying to cling to their own. They're breaking away from Jakes. They ain't trying to do that integration no more. The gentrification is going to backfire on them, for the Jakes that's still holding tight in their neighborhoods. They're trying to get up out of there. That's it, man. Everybody going to turn to their own people. And everybody to their own land. Everybody crossing over here saying, man, welcome back to, good old America. We love America. They're going to say, you know what? Actually, America's about to be destroyed. This place is about to get turned into a hell on earth. We're getting back. We're going back home. They're going to be fighting to get back across the border. It says it's going to be like the chase roe, speedily, and a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people. Now you see what Esau doing. Why white fortress cities are rising up across the South as wealthy residents break away from poor, predominantly black neighborhoods. Majority white cities are popping up across the South as wealthy communities attempt to break away from poor black neighborhoods to conserve their resources. Hello? See, it ain't gonna be about, oh, we love you black folks. We're sharing. We're all neighbors. No, they're going every man for themselves. And they know 2nd Ezra 15, about a man designed to go in the city not being able, they're gonna have their own little militias lined up. They ain't letting Jakes over. A man spoiling his neighbor's goods. The fear is going to be on all men. See, they're setting up right now to do what? Conserve their resources. Among them is the city of St. George in Louisiana, a campaign spearheaded by Norman Browning, I covered this a while back. Remember I showed the little land with Jake's over there in Georgia. What was the name of that place? I forgot the name of the land in Georgia. But you know, you had them 19 families, about the makers down there, and all they doing down there is doing goddess worship and Juneteenth celebrations. And they finally got like 2 or 3 tiny homes on there after 4 years. Esau over there, man, stacking up resources, getting ready for all hell to break loose. Jake's down there partying like it's 1999. Continuing on, it says, which will see the creation of a new city outside Baton Rouge. A similar process has taken place in Atlanta with the creation of the city of Mulberry. However, the area of Buckhead has recently denied the opportunity to succeed. Proponents say breaking away will help them hang onto their tax dollars and ensure better representation, while critics say the white fortressing enforces segregation. Yeah, well, that's the spirit, and that's how it's going to go down. You know, they starting now. Yeah, kind of Mad Max, Thunderdome, the whole 9, man. Just give us the gas, we'll spare your life. That was from what they call that guy on Thunderdome, the big buff guy with the damn mask on. Killing for gas, water, resources like that, man. Last thing before we close out, man. Look at this. The best athlete in America is a giant German. Can you imagine? This is what America's saying. Not LeBron James, not you know, whatever the greatest track star is, or football player, baseball. You know. When I first read this, I was looking like, what? Look at America getting ready to change the narrative again. Best athlete in America is a giant German. Like most star athletes at the University of Texas, Leo Nijbauer has a pile of trophies, a swelling social media following, and the chiseled physique of a 5-star recruit. But Nijbauer isn't a power forward or a tight end. He's a decathlete, a master of 10 vastly different track and field events, and unlike a highly touted football and basketball players on campus, he's actually won a national championship. Wow. So some big old German down at the University of Texas is the best athlete in America. Oh, there he goes. Bet y'all didn't know. I felt the same way. For some of y'all that didn't know about this, I was sitting back like, what? You gonna tell me a damn German white man is the best athlete in America? You crazy? Gotta be some folly going on. As I got more into the article, seeing some pictures, I said, okay, that makes more sense. The Lord called us a special people, man. The Lord called us to be amongst the dispersed. Yeah, see? Shalak? You must have commented before you seen the picture. I said the same thing. He's a Jake. Part of the diaspora, man. Born in Germany. You know, now his father's Cameroon, his mother's German. So by bloodline, you know, he's Cameroonian, born in Germany, right? So he's claiming German nationality. That's the same thing happens with the diaspora. Cameroon is you know, Central West African country, east of Nigeria. You got Bantus over there that proclaim to be Israelites. So Cameroon's got Israelites, man. So I'm claiming him. I'm claiming it, man. I'm going to. We're special people, man, above all nations, you know, and you're going to say that the best ones coming out of America is a black German? And imagine, you know, let's not forget, there were black Germans living in Germany during the how much it cost. There were black Germans that were part of the how much it cost that is widely buried. You know, they don't want to give it, you know what, just real quick, I said that was it, but you know, I say that I got to prove it. I got to prove it. I shared this article before. The Nazi persecution of black people in Germany. Okay. This is from Jakes that was going over there planting seed from the military and so forth and so on. Right? See, black residents in Germany during the Weimar period, 1918, 1933. There goes sister right there. There's a lot of Jakes, man, that decided they wasn't gonna, that was in the military, man. They was laying up with these little German women, staying over there. Then you had migrations of Jakes. Yeah, kind. Elder Swarthy. It's a spirit. That's right. Bam. Spirit's gonna testify that we the we're the children of the Lord. Romans 8:16. That's right. Here you go. He's 6'6", swelled up, and he's a decathlete, man. He competes in 10 different events and has won a national championship and medals in 10 different events. That's something, man. I mean, you got to be a special athlete to master 10 different events. Hold on. This has got Leo Najabar. Leo Niger. They probably call him Niggerbauer, knowing them. Niger Bomber. I don't know. But yeah, here you go. You don't look like no African. Born in Gorlich, Deutschland in 2000. You talk about being part of the diaspora. You see some black Germans. Hey, they out there. Well, this whole thing is in German. I'm tripping, no wonder. Where's the one that's in English? Okay, here you go. But yeah, fun fact, man. Fun fact, right? His father's a soccer player from Cameroon, from Swabia. Nigel Bauer joined the athletics club at LG, Leifenden, whatever, in Stuttgart, in his homeland. He moved to the University of Texas to study economics in 2019. So this cat, man, probably, just speaking decent English, right? But yeah, there you go, man. Personal best, he's running the 100-meter dash, the long jump, the shot put, the high jump, 400 meters, the 110 hurdles, the discus, the pole vault, the javelin, 1,500 miles. I mean, good Lord. I gotta tip my hat to good old Leo, man. So we claiming Leo over here, all right? We claiming Leo. Best athlete, man. Thus saith the Lord. That's Israel. All right. Let me close that out, man. So another good one, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White House side, man. Hopefully everybody got some understanding, some edification tonight, got some things to ponder on. If you didn't watch it live tonight, man, you're gonna check it out tomorrow. Same goes for you, man. Hopefully you got some edification, man. You got some things to ponder on, research, and just see how close it is, man. Romans 13:11 lets us know that now's a high time for us to wake out of sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than when we believed. The Most High said he's going to work a work on our days that we wouldn't believe, even though he told us. So as we see these things continually go down, we got to know what time it is, y'all. All right. So your brothers up out of here, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White House side, man. See y'all tomorrow, Lord willing, man, for our closing Shabbat class, Messengers of the Covenant, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Lord willing, man. See y'all then. All right. Continue to support the channel. As y'all know, and I said it earlier, YouTube was actively shadow banning the damn account. It was multiple people up in here. They said it was only 4 people. So you know what time it is, man. I think brother said it earlier, man. He wasn't getting notifications no more. Yeah, check your notifications. They're unsubscribing. They're turning off notifications. They're banning Jake's being able to comment in the damn chat, man. It's just getting ridiculous. But it's par for the course, man. When you bear the sword of truth, man, you're going to have some haters. It just comes with the territory, man. So all praise to the Most High, man, and we're being hated for Christ's sake. You dig? All right. So I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a blessed evening. Shalom.